Good morning, I'm Larry Steinhouse, and welcome to Money Chat Now. Money Chat Now is a politically charged stock market pre-show giving you the politics behind the biggest moves in the stock market. It is presented with comedic common sense by an expert in financial literacy, and hey, that's me, Larry Steinhouse. Hey, today is Wednesday, March 2nd, and I want to welcome you to the show. We are here live on WWDB Radio, 860 AM in Philadelphia, and we are live on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and YouTube. Hey, of course, if you want to find me, you can find me on Facebook, TikTok, and other social media by searching Larry Steinhouse. Hey, just a reminder, I want to remind you all, hit that like button, hit that share button, and don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel and like the Money Chat Now page on Facebook. And you can comment live during the show on YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, and Twitter. And please say hi so I know you're watching. And by the way, if you're commenting from a group that's not the Money Chat Now fan page, your name may not show up my dashboard. So please go to Money Chat Now page and comment there so I can recognize you. Money Chat Now, of course, is brought to you by Investor Schooling, and you can attend a complimentary class this Thursday by going to investorschooling.com. All right, and there you will definitely learn about real estate investing and stock option trading from those who do it every day. Today, we're going to be doing a special edition, a special State of the Union edition of Money Chat Now. So we're going to take a quick commercial, and then we're going to get back, and we're going to get right into that. So see you in a minute.
Okay, so you've thought about investing in real estate, houses, apartment buildings, properties, but don't really know where to start? Well, what if you could very easily learn how to gain strategies to use other people's money to buy and sell houses in the Philadelphia area? If you could learn and network with successful area real estate investors and how to produce monthly income on rental properties without headaches, that place is Investor Schooling. With Investor Schooling, you'll learn from two Philadelphia area rockstar real estate investors, Phil Falcone and Larry Steinhouse, about how to buy and sell properties the easy way and teach you basic and advanced techniques to help you make money in real estate. You can attend Investor Schooling in person or online visual classes 8 times a month. You can and will learn how to make money in real estate. Call for free information and get a complimentary pass to one of these classes. But don't delay, as these complimentary passes are limited. Call the number on your screen now or visit investorschooling.com. investorschooling.com.
All right, welcome back to Money Chat Now, and today's special edition, or special State of the Union edition of Money Chat Now. And I hope you enjoy the presentation, and don't forget to share it with your friends, share it in groups, leave me comments. I got a lot to cover today, so I may not be able to acknowledge your comments, but enjoy this special presentation, and let's begin. All right, last night we were honored to have the President of the United States enter our living rooms through the idiot box hanging on the wall. By the way, it finally dawned on me where that expression came from. Clearly, it was the foresight of someone who knew Biden was going to be president one day. Anyway, we all know that President Poopy Pants and his minion of Democrats all gathered and watched as Biden told the country and world what a great job he was doing. He got on stage, of course, maskless, and everyone in the room, of course, except for maybe 1 or 2 people, were also maskless. And for those of you sending your kid today in a mask, you should just have your kid identify as the president, and they will be able to go maskless too. Yes, I do realize that most schools are now maskless, but Philadelphia and some other idiot-led schools, I think in New Jersey, are still wearing them. So from now on, what I suggest you do is when your teacher asks what pronoun to identify your child as, make sure you proudly answer president as you take the mask off your child. Now back to the speech. So Butthead Biden started off his address mumbling about COVID and how last year this address could not be had. He quickly went into the war. I swear, as I watched it, all I could think about was, I don't know, that puppet Walter that Jeff Dunham uses in his comedy act. Did you guys think that too? Anyway, Biden went on and on about the war and stated how we stand with the Ukrainian people. And of course it needs to be said, and his writers did a really good job here. You know, it's kind of like the opposite of don't kill the messenger because of the message. In this case, the message was great, but the messenger, well, you know, like I said, it looked like Jeff Dunham's puppet Walter. Only, I kind of think that Biden was funnier looking. Anyway, he goes on and on and on about Putin and on about Zelensky, and said all the right things and all the wrong things, all the wrong things about Putin or whatever, and all the right things about Zelensky, and he just kept going and going. He talked about sanctions and other possible punishments. However, we actually never heard about how he was going to stop buying oil from Russia. The number one trade that Russia sends to America. I find it funny how people are taking Russian vodka bottles off the shelves of bars and liquor stores, but this country is still buying oil from Russia. In fact, in his speech, he mentioned we are now using the reserves again. So for those of you who don't know what I'm talking about here, the U.S. Strategic Petroleum Reserve consists of 4 underground salt caverns along the Texas and Louisiana coasts that currently hold about 605 million barrels of oil. Now, let me explain. That's enough oil to satisfy U.S. demand for several weeks. Yes, I said weeks. This is a scary thought. If you think about it, the supply, by the way, is owned by the U.S. government and managed by the Energy Department. And Biden has ordered some of these barrels, 68 million is what he said in his speech, to be exact, to put into use. So the total barrels held by the entire alliance, by the way, some other countries, is 715 million. Now, when you realize that this oil is for emergency use only, using it to lower oil prices and gas prices is probably not a good use of this oil, especially when it is only a reserve meant for weeks of use, right? However, Biden ordered them to be released anyway. Well, folks, that simply means that Biden will lower gas prices, or at least they won't raise as high as they would in the next few weeks. However, he's putting us all in danger. If World War III really does break out and we need that oil, as countries take sides and stop sending oil to us or even stop producing oil altogether, it's going to be a big problem. This is the think about now ideology that will kill our future. So be careful with this, right? So Biden actually had the nerve to talk about the inflation problem next. He quickly moved on to the infrastructure bill. It was almost like he told the American poor people that, yep, we know we need to talk about you, but I'm just going to mention it for 3 minutes of my speech, and that'll make you all better. Hey, don't forget to vote for me because I recognize the fact that you're poor, and we might have to do something about it. And even though we can't, we won't. So all you poor people who need help, sorry, but it's always Democrats who aren't going to help you, because they never do, even though they say they're going to. All right, I cannot believe the next place he went. He actually told Americans, you ready, to buy American products. Wow, what an awesome soundbite that was. However, if you remember, it was actually Trump who had companies coming back to America, and you, Biden, sent them packing back to China, Mexico, and other foreign countries. Biden then went into automobiles and actually had the nerve to tell the automobile company, you ready, to lower their costs and raise their wages. Oh. It sounds like Biden has never owned a company in his life. Hey, brain dead, I have a great way for the union workers to get more money in their paychecks. You ready? Stop allowing the unions to steal the union dues out of those paychecks. It'll bring about $500 back to the average American family budget. And when the unions go away, it'll allow the worker who puts in more effort to be paid more than the worker who does the minimum it takes to get his paycheck. But what do I know? I'm just a small businessman who actually, has, employees. Anyway, he then talked about the supply chain and the deficit. For real? This guy has done more damage to both the supply chain and increased the deficit second fastest than any president in history. Let's go, Brandon. All right, let's take a quick break, and I'm going to come back and I'm going to talk to you more about this disaster. I'll see you in a minute.
Okay, so you've thought about investing in real estate, houses, apartment buildings, properties, but don't really know where to start? Well, what if you could very easily learn how to gain strategies to use other people's money to buy and sell houses in the Philadelphia area? If you could learn and network with successful area real estate investors and how to produce monthly income on rental properties without headaches, that place is Investor Schooling. With Investor Schooling, you'll learn from 2 Philadelphia area rockstar real estate investors, Phil Felsen Cohn and Larry Steinhouse about how to buy and sell properties the easy way and teach you basic and advanced techniques to help you make money in real estate. You can attend investor schooling in person or online visual classes 8 times a month. You can and will learn how to make money in real estate. Call for free information and get a complimentary pass to one of these classes. But don't delay, as these complimentary passes are limited. Call the number on your screen now or visit investorschooling.com. Investorschooling.com.
All right, welcome back to Money Chat Now. I'm your host, Larry Steinhouse, and of course, if you'd like more information on investor schooling, you can go to investorschooling.com or call 866-424-2829, 866-424-2829, and hey, I want to thank everybody on WWDB Radio, 860 AM in Philadelphia for listening, and if you're watching online, please hit that share button. Come on, this is good stuff. Hit that share button, we're all fellow patriots. Hit that share button with your Democrat friends and let them know what I think about the State of the Union address, right? You can help your friends learn more about how to make more money, and of course hit that like button. Let me know you're enjoying the show. And leave comments on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and YouTube. I am seeing your comments. I'm just moving really fast today because I got a lot to cover, so I may not be able to get to them, but I want to thank everybody online for watching and leaving the comments. I totally appreciate it. And we're going to continue with our special State of the Union address issue of Money Chat Now. All right, don't forget, hit that like button, hit that share button. Don't forget to leave comments because I really love the comments, and I totally appreciate you guys leaving them. And if you're watching anywhere, YouTube, Twitter, everywhere, just make sure you do that. And hey, you guys are on WWDB Radio. If I haven't said it already, set a preset to this channel and listen every day at 7:30. All right, let's get into it. Let's talk about more about what's going on. And here we go. All right, by the way, I really hope you're enjoying this today. Let me know if you are. I totally appreciate that as well. I've said this over and over again, so I want to make sure you guys all let me know you enjoy it. All right, let's get into the second half, and let's go where he went next. So next in his speech, Biden brought up taxes. Hey, all of you listening, I bet you can't wait to pay more taxes. What do you mean, you don't want to pay more taxes? Huh. Well, I have some secrets to pay less taxes, but let's hear about some of the tax plans of the brain-dead Biden administration. You know, he did go into the fact that corporations aren't paying their fair share. You know, look, you want to tax corporations more, that's okay, but they're paying their fair share because the tax code is written a certain way and they're paying exactly what they're supposed to pay. If you, by the way, who's been in office for 40 years, if you didn't want to change, if you wanted to make changes 40 years ago, and they would have been able to change that, and it wouldn't happen, right? Anyway, whoever came up with the marketing idea of pay your fair share was brilliant. I wish I could hire them. I'd love to use them to market my company because that's a brilliant marketing campaign, right? Maybe they'll come out with a slogan for investor schooling that's something like, I don't know, keep more and don't share. All right, I guess I'll have to use that in a seminar or something, but I don't know. Maybe I can come up with something better. Anyway, then he talked about loopholes and other things he tried to introduce a year ago that even the Democrats shut down. You know, like the ending of the 1031 exchange or the step-up basis. And if you don't know what this is, don't worry about it because it doesn't, unless you know what it means, it doesn't affect you. And if you do know what it means, they cancel it anyway. But anyway, the dumbest one was the tax on unrealized gains that he brought up. I can't even begin to tell you how dumb this is. How do you tax somebody on money they haven't made? Anyway, then he goes into things like affordability of pharmaceuticals, college daycare, and senior care. Look, who wouldn't be an advocate for those things? I'm an advocate for all those things. I wish that pharmaceuticals were cheaper, I wish college was cheaper, I wish daycare was cheaper, and I wish senior care was cheaper. Of course, right? But so I'm an advocate, you're an advocate, everyone says that, but he never definitely actually stated how he was going to reduce these things. In fact, for you guys who don't know, he overturned or at least delayed an order by Trump that would have reduced prices on insulin and other drugs by certain patients. So basically, Trump did what Biden just said he was going to do, and then Biden undid what Trump did to solve the problem that Biden said he's going to do. Ugh, the hypocrisy is unbelievable, right? Unbelievable. So then, of course, you know, the greatest thing that Biden talked about was how he stopped COVID. Really? Stopped it? No, he actually prolonged it. Check this out, right? The actual pandemic, in my opinion, ended on April 2020. Yeah. Scream to me about the deaths and cases, blah, blah, blah. But if you look at this chart, you will actually see, look at the high point of the chart, that we have more coronavirus cases now than we ever had. Yes, that chart, I know it's hard to see it. If you guys are listening on the radio, I'm put up a chart right now that shows that we have the highest amount of COVID cases ever, and this is when everything is ending, right? So what do you think really happened? Well, I guess the common cold is no longer a distraction as we go to war with Russia fighting Ukraine, right? Look at the chart. I mean, it's just amazing. I need my mask. Anybody have my mask? I better put a mask on because this chart's terrible. I mean, it's showing a bazillion cases. Anyway, and by the way, wasn't the vaccine supposed to slow or stop infections? So how could this chart even exist? And by the way, that link up there, it's a real chart. I got the link to show you where I got that chart from. It's real. So, by the way, Biden also talked about the Pfizer treatment for virus, which is now free for all. Okay? So basically, this is a treatment that you take if you get the coronavirus or if you test positive, you can go into a drugstore and get this thing for free. I'm basically thinking that this is going to increase Pfizer's stock, and basically I'm going to guess that Nancy Pelosi just bought it a couple of weeks ago, and that's why they did this, so her money could go up even more. This was kind of funny. He actually went off script at one point, and you got to go and watch this, because I don't know what happened, but he went off script, and he goes, he made me chuckle because he was talking about the vaccine, and then he says something like, and he just like audibly goes, "You can't build a wall high enough." And then he stopped. He actually just stopped and realized what he said. He paused, caught himself, and went back to talking about the vaccine. Yeah, you can't build a wall high enough. And I don't know what he was referring to, but even if he was referring to the vaccine, I don't know how you can't build a wall high enough to keep, of course, the virus out. But I think he was kind of talking about maybe the next topic, which might be, I don't know, immigration or people crossing the border. But you got to listen to it because it's actually really, really funny. It was so fast. I had to play it back a couple of times, but it was so fast. All right. Then he went on to say, of course, send the kids and workers back to school. Duh. It was you and your Democrat minion who were keeping them away. And then he got into something that really made me angry. I got angry when he started talking about an officer who was ambushed and killed. In fact, I believe he insulted every officer when he memorialized the officer because you, brain dead, are the reason for the hatred of cops. Now he talks about funding the police, not defunding the police. Shut up, you idiot. Of course, he went on to continue to make sure Democrats can cheat in elections by blocking voter ID and keeping fake mail-in ballots. There was an uproar from the crowd. And I can only guess it was the Republicans who were shouting from the back of the room when the morons in charge said, and I quote, "We need to secure our border and fix the immigration system." No, really. He really said that. He actually said we need to secure our border and fix the immigration system. Maybe, at this point, maybe he's endorsing Trump. We all know Biden screwed it up more than any president in history. And when I played it back, and you got to do this, right? I actually heard people in the back chanting, "Build a wall, build a wall." Go back and listen. It's really, really funny. You can find a copy of this on YouTube. And you can actually hear it in the back. They're yelling, "Build a wall, build a wall." And obviously it's the Republicans, but how funny is that, right? Anyway, by the way, I'm not going to take a break here where I normally do, so I want you guys to make sure you hit that like button, hit that share button, let everyone know what a great show this is and what's happening here, because this is some great stuff. I got a lot more to go, so I just want to let you know that normally I would take a break here, but I want you to continue to share this. I want you to continue to listen to it. Keep leaving the comments. I'm loving some of the comments. You guys are cracking up. I can see you guys online, and you can, of course, leave comments on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, and Twitter. And, of course, if you're listening on WWDB Radio, I'm Larry Steinhouse, and this show is Money Chat Now, and today we are doing our special edition of the State of the Union Address and my comments on it. And if you're enjoying it, please let me know. Look me up when you get back to your car or back home and let me know that you're enjoying it, of course. All right, so let's get into some other things happen. All right, we'll get back to, let's get back to the clown show. Okay, so as we neared the end of the speech, Biden talked about the opioid crisis, and he said he's going to do all he can to stop it. Hey, Biden, did you meet Hunter yet? I mean, if he can't help his own son, how he's going to help the rest of the population? He addressed veterans, and frankly, this was the only part of the speech that I actually found moving. Biden actually praised the people who fought for our freedom. Now, I can't help but to think about how he and his cronies took our freedoms away the last 2 years, but the segment praising the veterans was actually pretty moving. I actually thought it was great, and again, if you want to go back and listen to it, you might find it nice. A few minutes later, however, he had the nerve to say that they fought against totalitarianism. He probably should look up that word. I should probably look at how to say it. He should probably look up that word and not use it, because it was people like me, you know, the freedom fighting truck drivers and many Republican politicians who actually fought for your freedom as you were locked down and forced to wear masks and vaccines. Remember? And take vaccines. He then closed, by the way, and I'm going to be cutting this short, by the way, today. He then closed with, "We are stronger in America than a year ago." Now, for all of those shaking your head at this statement, I actually agree with him. Think about this. I don't agree with him in the way he meant it. We are stronger in America because we will never allow the dictatorship ideals to take us over again. We will not allow the government to shut down our businesses again. We will not allow teachers and teachers unions to dictate medical policy to our children ever again. We will not allow the Nazi-esque regime to rule over our lives. Yes, Biden, we are stronger, and maybe when we add to the list of never again, we will not allow election fraud, the Republic will stand again, and we will actually make America great again. We're going to take a minute here, and I'm going to say, God bless America, and we're actually going to come back, and I'm going to give you a quick update on the stock market. God bless America.
Ladies and gentlemen, our national anthem.
All right, everybody, real quick before we go, I just want to let you guys know what the stock market is doing today. So, because that is what the show is about, right? So the Dow is up, by the way, up 170. The S&P is up 21, and the Nasdaq is up almost 75. This is actually good news because we're going to be bringing in, basically what happens is the stock market has a terrible day today, as you all know. It was pretty bad yesterday. It was beat up pretty badly. In fact, I think the Dow actually was shut down, went down almost 600 points. The S&P was down almost 68 points, and the Nasdaq was down 219 points. So it was terrible. And then now, of course, we have the market coming back. But that usually happens. You usually have what's called a dead cat bounce, and people come back, the market comes back, people make their money again, and that's what we're kind of hoping to do today. We're kind of hoping to make some money today again, and that will happen. Also, the bonds, by the way, the bond market is actually at 1.75. But here's the thing, the oil market, you guys understand that oil is now at $110 a barrel? $110 a barrel. That's insane. You know what that means? That means that we're going to top the 120 per barrel when, guess who was president? Obama. I'm wondering if Obama and Pelosi and Biden all have some serious oil stocks. I know you're going to tell me they are because they probably do. But it's amazing to me that these stocks, that the oil price is actually moving up, and it's moving up fast. So expect more pain at the pump. And if you have some more of those stickers that said, I did this, the Joe Biden stickers that said I did this, make sure you put them out because they are definitely more appropriate even now. In fact, if you guys know about my Let's Go Brandon mobile, I'm going to have to drive it more often. Actually, I drove it yesterday. It was very funny. I drove it yesterday. And I had more people waving and shouting at me, "Let's go Brandon," than ever. So obviously the war is not really working for Joe, is it? It's actually working against Joe as Putin starts to destroy Ukraine, and we can't do much about it. Now, I've gotten into the show before, and I've said that we can't do much about it, so it is what it is, because it's the NATO thing, and I'm not going to get into it right now, but you understand that is a problem, and we're going to have a little bit of problem with that. We can't do anything about it, because we just can't do anything about it. Unfortunately, the thing to do earlier was to, first of all, open up the pipeline so we don't have to buy oil from Russia anymore, which I still don't understand and why we're buying oil from Russia when Russia's going to hold us hostage with this oil. I mean, Putin, listen, the other day, Donald Trump said, Putin's a smart guy, and everybody got mad. No, Putin's a smart guy. He's a smart guy. He's not a dummy, and that's why he's doing what he's doing. Now, he may be damaging his country temporarily. He may be damaging relations with the rest of the world temporarily, but he has a plan. He didn't just go into this willy-nilly. So that's why he said it, and here's what's happening. Right now, he knows, of course, that he controls oil here in America, and what are we going to do? We're going to have a problem with that because our oil prices are going to go up. Hey, you guys, don't forget. It's only $6 a gallon. It's no big deal if you go to $6 a gallon because we can afford that because, hey, Joe Biden's going to come to the rescue. Remember, he mentioned it in the State of the Union address. He mentioned all those poor people who can't afford to pay anything, and he's going to save the day. He never said how he was going to save the day, but he's going to save the day. So as long as you know he's going to save the day, it's all good. And you're getting your taxes, your tax refunds, and your tax credits, and all this money that's coming out for free. Oh boy. I'm looking up at the screen. There's so many comments, and I totally appreciate you guys. But I'm laughing at Michael, who left a comment. He goes, if USA were attacked, Biden would just surrender. No, Biden would actually get on an airplane, get on a helicopter, and take off and go to another country, which is what the president of Ukraine did not do. Remember that? He said, I'm not going anywhere. I'm going to stay here and defend my country. I have never heard of anything like that. I thought that was brilliant, fantastic, and I really hope it's real, because some people are saying that that's not real, but I hope it's real. And even if it's not real, I hope it's real. But the message he's sending is just amazing to me that he's sending as a leader of a country. He's sending that message. That message is unreal. Hey, I'm brave. I'm the president of my country, and I'm not going anywhere. I'm going down with the ship, or the ship is going to stay up. I don't care, and that to me is a leader. That's an incredible leader. Biden wouldn't do that. I'm not even sure, and I'll be honest with you, I'm not even sure if Trump would do that. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed today's special edition, and I want you guys to have an awesome day and make it a profitable one.